Oh, hey there. Welcome to the roof of a 2017 Travel Light. I wanted to start up here because this is the most important thing. There's a little bit of dicor over here, but everywhere else I ripped it up, especially over here, and put down eternabond tape and then painted over that with a rubber sealant from Dicor. It's solid, it's bomb-proof. It actually hardened, so it's like solid. You can step on that, it doesn't flex. I also went inside and did a little bit of framing so it bows out a little bit in the middle. So this thing is watertight, and water will run off it into these gutters and down the front. So this is a 770 Travel Light RSL. That's what it started its life as. I have it here on a 2009 Tundra. Everything you see comes with it. So if you do want those torque lift tie downs on a Tundra, you can have it. But the reason I'm selling it is because I wanted to get something lighter. I think this, it's a very light camper. It says 1,400 pounds dry, but once you put people in it, it gets a lot more. So these tie downs do come with it. You will need tie downs for your truck. And before we go inside, I'll just walk around the outside. That's the emergency hatch. Wanted to show you, I wired an off-grid boondocking circuit, so all you'll need to do on your truck is add in a positive. This is 4 gauge with a 100 amp fuse, something like that, to your battery, and it will have alternator charging. This truck has a 150 amp alternator charger, but the charge controller, as long as you have somewhat decent, the charge controller in there will limit it. Usually it draws about 20, so never have any problems. So yeah, walking around the side, here is your shore power, 30 amp hookup. There's your exhaust for your furnace. This is your city water hookup. So basically, if you do a city hose, just a garden hose in there, it'll pressurize it and go everywhere. There's an outside shower with hot and cold. And here is the propane tank. That's it. That's a new regulator on it. I would carry a spare regulator in there. I did say everything's going to come with it, so that's a little weight so you can weigh your propane. Frosted window right there, added that. Added this, there's lights up there. Added this Pelican case just so you have outside cooking, which is crucial. Always, when possible, cook outside instead of getting those smells in there. This is a little compartment, and I'll have photos of all this stuff, where the old lead acid battery used to live, but I moved the lithium inside to keep them warm, so this is just light storage. I just keep the Lego blocks, camper jacks in there. It's better than having something heavy here on the outside. That's hot water heater, fridge, vent, and that was to the battery compartment. I've sort of plugged it up. So yeah, that's it. Let's go inside. One thing I will say about that DC to DC charger that comes from the engine bay is I have it connected on the side here. Probably can't see it, but there is an Anderson connector right over there. So you just plug it in there, and that has it. That's the sink drain. I just let it drain outside usually. But here I just have my 7-pin connector, and it connects up there right next to the Anderson as well. So I will include that cord, everything. I have it sitting on a couple, I forget the plywood, but it's the lightest plywood possible, and I use a hole saw with a rubber mat on the bottom and top just to get it the height I wanted. And I took a bunch of weight out on the hole saw. But yeah, that's it. These are 2 external plugs. They're hot when you're plugged into shore power. And yeah, these steps come with it. You can see they just attach there, and I just keep them inside when I'm not using it. If your truck is a little bit shorter, I do have a 4-step. That's a little less high, so that should work for you. The ladder kind of fits well in there, so if you want it, you can keep it, as well as that. So this is the inside. Just gonna come in here so you see it. Oops, I'm gonna take that photo off. That will not be coming with. And here is the bathroom, and that comes with it if you want it. If not, you can just get a new one for 75 bucks. That's what I'd recommend. But yeah, so starting on the left, we have, here is the closet. Good storage there. Storage below. Little storage there. You can see the sink in there. Spare paper towels come with it. I think there's like a little water filter in there too that comes with it. This cutting board comes up and you get your sink that just drains outside. Put a digital thermostat. It's reading 89 right now. But yeah, just to turn it on. It's just for turning on the heat, which works very well. You just flick that over, set your temperature, and that will keep you warm all night long. The only downside to these forced air propane furnaces is they require a little maintenance, but I've done all that, so it's running really well right now. But they do draw a lot of battery and use a bit of propane, so if you're full-time, you're probably going to want to put a diesel heater somewhere. I've seen people put it here with the hot water. But yeah, we use this for a powder chasing rig, and that heater keeps us warm and like, you know, minus 12 at Winter Park, and it would dry our ski boots right there. While we're at it, here was our ski storage solution. Just wrap it around, hook it up there, and keeps them really nice right there. But staying on the left side, dual burner. You have full overhead pantry for food storage. Those shut pretty well. I mean, they mostly stay shut. I haven't had them open up, but the fridge, I do have a backup just in case, because so we just connect that before we go, but it stays shut. Yeah, burners work well. This little light, exhaust fan. This shade is broken, so we just kind of hook it up there and then just undo it when we want it. We installed this just for remote work, actually, so it looked like you're not in a truck camper while you're working on your background. But it's pretty easy to remove if you don't like that big bulky thing. Just a couple screws right there. That's hot when you're on shore power. Nobody uses cable anymore, as well as TV antenna. I tore that out and covered it up so it's sealed up top. Over here we have hyper vent underneath, so that's very crucial, especially in winter, for keeping condensation to a minimum, so it keeps the airflow and provides a little extra cushion. And then we just put a mattress topper on top. It's just like, you know, a couple inches, but that comes with it too. If you want something more, you can do it, maybe a 2 or 3 inch if you want ultimate luxury, but it's really comfortable. Just wouldn't get a Tempur-Pedic if you're going to use it in winter, because those things freeze. So I installed this aftermarket. This is a Maxxair fan. So you just open it up right there, and once that's open, it's manual open, but it's great because you can leave that open in the rain, and then this provides, it's a 4-speed. It's very, very quiet. That's the highest setting. And that's the lowest. And it provides excellent ventilation and keeps everything cold. This right here is that eternabond tape. I got into there just to get into the framing to shore it up, because I wanted the roof to bow out to keep it more watertight. But no, this thing is great. It is very watertight, and that is the biggest thing. No water damage, good to go. Installed, so you can see the lights here. Mostly use those unless you're reading, but they're all these are LED. They've been replaced with LED bulbs, but you know, they're kind of like ugly white, so usually you're going to be using this mood lighting. And there's a remote right there and a remote right there, and it's just like, you know, got all the colors, even has a little music mode on it. Yeah, what else? So these provide really good cross ventilation, especially with the Maxxair. Gets it good. And then coming down to here, I took out the factory table and installed a lagoon. So, you know, it's like when we're going, you have it like that, or, you know, you can kind of have it like here, move it however you want, push it back over there. But to be honest, a lot of times, like, we just have that if we're feasting or working, but most of the time it all packs up pretty compactly and stores right underneath the mattress. So that's a great feature. It really opens up the space here. All right, so getting down over here, this is your fuse panel. There's your main disconnect, so you push that in. And this is that boondocking circuit that I was talking about. You got 200 amp hours, so these are 100 amp hours each, and they are wired in parallel, so they're at 12 volts, and I have some insulation here, so I've just brought it inside to be warm. There is these batteries don't have it, but there is a sensor, you can see it right here, which goes to the controller. So that's a low temperature cutoff. So if it ever did get below freezing in here, it will stop charging those and it'll protect them. Otherwise, you'll ruin your batteries and it can be a hazard. So all these terminations have been, I would say, they've been tested for continuity, and they're quite well done. You can see them going in there, coming out over there. So here's your power strip. It goes to a 1000 watt pure sine inverter that sits in there. The controls are over here. this, I'll find the faceplate for the stereo. You know, there's speakers, but we never, they're pretty crummy factory speakers. We never used them, just use a little Bluetooth portable speaker is better. But yeah, there is your controller. So you can see it's 200 amp hours and yeah, full charge. The solar is 200 watts and then it has DC to DC charger. So guys, there's really like more power than I've really ever need. I mean, maybe if I was jamming a whole bunch of stuff and the panels are covered in snow, I got down to about 60%, but not too much. So I have the inverter on a switch right here. So you can see it drawing a little bit more, but the panels are keeping up with it. So yeah, just keep it off so it doesn't draw. And then, oh, by the way, I have these tapes just because it was like kind of bright at night. I never looked if there was, I never got into the settings to turn it off, but works for me. So these are two open switches, and then this is to warm the batteries. There's little heater pads in there, but you know, to be honest, I never even needed those. I think the insulation works pretty well. So they're little tank heaters. By the way, there's storage right here and here. Water tank is back there, as is the inverter, bunch of wiring and stuff. So again, we use this for chasing powder, so we ran it dry. I would, if you're gonna do that, I would recommend just getting a insulated water cooler and putting it right there. That's what we did. We had two 2-gallon Stanleys, but RTIC has a new halftime cooler that's really good. It's 5 gallons and it's insulated, so that water won't freeze. And then whenever we needed it, once we got to our destination, we'd just take it from there, you know, try to keep it forward as possible with the weight. And then we'd just put it up on this shelf in the bathroom and just drains right out there. So yeah, this is the shower. And yeah, on the roof, there is a little break in the plastic there, but I just Gorilla taped it and it's held for about a year. So it's not pretty, but it's a roof. So yeah, it's really nice to have the bathroom in the middle of the night. We only personally did onesies, not twosies, but I'll leave that up to you. And coming over here, we have the hot water heater. We never used it. It does work. So if you did fill up the water tank, you just have to plug that because it's winterized, and then you just turn that on. That does work. Hear the pump go on. And then yeah, that runs on propane if you want it. Again, if you're going to chase powder, I would put like a diesel heater right there, but that's just me. So here is the fridge. It's huge, 3 cubic feet, runs off of DC, AC, and propane. Propane definitely works the best, but you definitely don't want to use it when you're on an angle. So I've cleaned out the back on those vents. You want to keep those fins clean all the time, so it's not a fire hazard. You don't use it as an angle. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm sure I'm forgetting a lot of stuff. Oh yeah, there's these cushions are upgraded. I tore out the foam because I was really uncomfortable sitting here working because they just kind of collapse. So I put memory foam and a dense foam from Foam Factory. So as well as I mean, I'm 5'11", but my feet were dangling. So with the footstep where I put the batteries and this, it's a lot more comfortable. And yeah, I worked remotely from here for weeks on end, and it's good to go. And it's not like a super comfy chair at home, but it's pretty good. You just have to get up regularly, but I'd say that's how it goes for home too. You know, drawers right there, and yeah, that's it, guys. This was my sort of COVID project that I really got into. And yeah, it's just kind of fun tinkering and upgrading it, but it's just I have a young child now, so it's just a little bit too heavy for my Tundra, I think. I upgraded the suspension, but this thing would be a lot better on a 3/4 ton. It would hit that sweet spot and handle really well, but you know, handles really well on this, have the sway bar. But yeah, that's it. Hit me up.